So what does an ancient Roman barley cake, a savory meat pie with a ring in it, and Queen Victoria all have in common? Well, they're actually why we have cake cutting traditions. Let me explain. So in ancient Rome, they didn't actually use cake, they used bread, and the groom would go ahead and break that over the bride's head to suggest his dominance over the bride and the household. And so the crumbs that would fall onto the ground, people would run around and grab those, hoping to be the next person to get married. And this was kind of the start of the idea of the wedding favor. In the Middle Ages, you actually had a savory meat pie, nothing sweet yet, but you'd have a ring hidden inside, and the person who would find that ring would be the next person to marry. And if that sounds familiar, this is what our now bouquet toss has become. Queen Victoria didn't invent the wedding cake, but she did make it a status symbol. Refined sugar was hard to come by and was very expensive, so to have a pure white cake was something to basically announce that you have money, and this started the popularized trend of having a sweet instead of a savory cake. The tier cake itself has its own weird origin. Back in medieval times, people would actually stack up buns as high as they could, and so if the couple could kiss over the top of those, it was a sign of good luck. So French pastry chef came in and was like, didn't like the messy pile of it, and ended up creating from that the croquembouche. Originally, wedding cakes were only going to be cut by the bride, but as royal icing got thicker and more difficult to cut through, the groom actually had to step in and help cut the cake. So that kind of evolved into the tradition of it being symbolism for unity. The modern cake as we know it traces its origin back to something called the Lambeth method, and it was a way to be able to tier more and more cakes and pipe on different frostings onto it and give different looks and styles. And the higher the cake, the more money and wealth you would have. Princess Diana and Prince Charles at their wedding, they actually had 27 different cakes, and one of their cake slices after the wedding was sold for, I think, at $30,000 at auction. Modern wedding cakes have a lot of different options. Still can do a traditional cake, but you'll now see a lot of different desserts like cheesecakes or pies. You'll be seeing donuts or other desserts, and sometimes even things like a savory dish again, like cheese wheels stacked up together. And it doesn't make any difference what ultimately you do. A lot of people are going to have opinions that, yes, you absolutely should have a cake or you should cut a cake. A lot of couples are even going away with that. There's no tradition that you have to have at your wedding. Make it a representation of you and your relationship with your partner. And that's the most important thing to focus on.